Okay, now we've gone through a few of the commands. Let's just do a little bit of housekeeping. Let's erase all these lines here. So we'll click on the pencil with the eraser on it, left click on top of the screen, drag your mouse around and over those lines. It's called a selection box, don't forget, and left click and then enter, and then those lines have gone. Now we need to make sure we're drawing on the right layer. As you know, AutoCAD draws on different types of layers. If you're not on the building layer, click on that down arrow there and make sure that you're on the building layer. And we can get to some of these other ones later. Just left click on the screen somewhere. Come over to the line command, click on the line command, and as you can see I've got my specified first point, so I'm just going to left click anywhere, drag my mouse across to the right and type in 300 and then press enter. And let's see where that is. That line could be a bit in the center, so hold that mouse wheel down and pan, and you can zoom your mouse wheel down, which would zoom the lines out a bit. Let's bring the cursor up, and we were 72 wide on our Oilstone case. Press enter, come across here. Now let's say I've forgotten what length that line is. If I come down here and just hover on that line, you can see how the writing beside my cursor changed from specified to endpoint. Then I come back up here, and where that little green didn't work that time, come up here, that green cross was the length of the line at the bottom, and then close off here. Right click, enter. Now we've drawn the base of our Oilstone case. It's 300 by 72. We drew it 1 to 1. Let's have a look down at our scale, down the bottom here. We must make sure it's at 1 to 2. If it's not 1 to 2, you can click the down arrow beside it and change the scale right there. Okay, we need to do the chamfer lines on the top. So we're going to do that using the offset command. So let's go offset here, offset, and that chamfer line on the inside is 20 mil, so let's type 20 mil in the text box, press enter. This command stays on till you finish with it, so we just go left click, inside the box left click again, on the line, left click somewhere in the middle, left click, and this one, left click, right click, enter, or enter on your keyboard. Now we need a diagonal line from here to here. So let's go to the line command, and we can draw the line into here like so, and that gives us that diagonal line. We could draw another line across here, and then another one there, and another one across. But I'm going to show you the mirror command just to make it a bit simpler and another way of doing things. There's always more than one way to draw a line. Let's go to the mirror command. We come down here, we left click on that diagonal line, then we'll right click for the second part of the command to specify first point. Notice our cursor locates to the center, which is the midpoint where the triangle is. Come down here to that side. We don't want to erase the last object, so we click on enter, and you can see what happened. It's automatically put that line across from there. If we right click the screen and repeat mirror, we can do the same thing by clicking on both those lines, left click both the lines, right click for the second part of the command, center that line to the center of that line, and we don't want to erase them, enter. Now we've got our 4 diagonal lines. You could have probably just drawn them just as quick as what I did doing a mirror, but it's just another way to show you. Now we've got these 2 little lines here that we need to get rid of, there and there. We need to get rid of those. We could either use the trim command by going trim and clicking on the line you want to trim from, then right click. Try not to hover over any lines when you're doing the second part of the command. So right click, select objects to trim. I want to trim that one, and I want to trim that one. Right click, enter. That way is a little bit slow. Let's do it again. I'll right click, repeat trim, Instead of clicking those two lines, I can do that crossing blocks like I showed you before. Left click down here, left click up there. See how it picked up the two lines? Then right click and then select those two objects on the outside, that one and that one, right click, enter. So now it's looking quite good. But let's show you the other way of doing it with a fillet command. Let's go fillet. We know R is a radius, so we go, it's 0 just to make sure. Let's type M for multiple. We want to do it a couple of times. And if I click on this line and this line, see how those two lines just go straight away. Make sure you click on the right side of the line. So this line here and this line here. Right click, enter. Now we've drawn the Oilstone case and now we can see the chamfer on the top. All we need to do is the dotted lines to show where the Oilstone is actually going to sit in this Oilstone case. Let's come up to our layer command and click on the down arrow and let's go to the hidden layer, which is that one there, hidden. Now we want to find out where we can start, so the best way to do that is to offset the first line 50 mil in. I've just done a quick maths in my head. It's 200 away from 300 is 100, divided by 2 gives you 50 mil. And let's do offset again. Right click, click on repeat offset, and on the side it's 11 mil in, so we go 11, enter, and let's click on the outside line, come down there, enter. So that's the basis where we're going to start our dotted lines from. So now we'll go to the line command and the green GIF, they call it a GIF, this little green thing here, see how it's picked up the intersection? Left click on that, drag your mouse along and now type in 200 for the length of the Oilstone. Let's come down here, see I've got a dotted line now and we've got 50 mil, enter. We come across here, we can go perpendicular, you can see the perpendicular icon, GIF there. We left click on that and then come back up into here and left click, then right click, enter, or do that on the keyboard. Then we can erase those two lines. We call them construction lines. They're just lines for us to be guided by. If we left click on that line, make sure you left click away from the dotted line and left click there, right click, and now we've got a dotted line to represent where our Oilstone is going to be sitting in our box. We can't see the Oilstone, that's why it's hidden. It's a dotted line because that really represents our lid.